Whoa, that camera is up way too high. Let me see if I can adjust that. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome to another installment of the Sunday Video Update. Today's date is Sunday, January 12th, 2025. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. Joining me off camera would be my dad, but he had to take a drive into town real quick because he had to go get a pair of jumper cables from the surplus store. Amy, she's in the kitchen. So we've got Luna, my dog. Well, actually, Amy's dog. Then we got Scruffy over here, and then Barkley is way over there by the entertainment center. I know, I know. I said I would have this cleaned off this week. Eventually, I'll get this thing cleaned off. Okay, just not last week, not this week, maybe next week. But I'm not gonna, chisel anything in stone because every time I say I'm gonna do something, I don't do it. But um. One thing for certain I said I was going to do was come back next week. Here I am. So I hope you all had a wonderful week. It is currently snowing really heavily outside right now. I can't see out the kitchen window. I'm going to open this, the blinds slightly. Oh yeah, it's still snowing. Still snowing. I hope Dad will be safe out there on the roads. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Mine was okay. I was busy, as can be expected. And we do have some comments in the chat, which I fell over laughing reading those before I went live this week. So without further ado, we have Chewing Off My Toenail, who once again makes his prominent return to the Sunday Video Update. And I quote what he says. Congrats on 1,000 videos. Yes, this is my 1,000th video, by the way. Thank you, Toenail, for reminding me. It's not the 1,000th Sunday Video Update. It is the 1,000th video on this particular channel. So that's a milestone. Thank you, Toenail, for that. I have 1,000 toenails to celebrate with you. Well, okay. That's where I kind of draw the line a little bit. Then he says, last night I stubbed my toe on purpose so the nail would peel off easier. I'm scooping out cottage cheese with a toenail as I listen to you this week. Okay. After adding some spray cheese to my Ritz cracker, I will scoop the cheese onto a toenail. And then, last but not least, he says, after I swallow a toenail, I will take a swig of Robitussin for fast, effective relief. Thank you so much, Toenail, for the humor. It's just too funny. I love it. So, I have a bone to pick with Memorial Healthcare. And I told Dad and Amy I was going to talk about that this week. It's actually not, anything to do with me. It's in regard to Amy. So Amy, it's not a laughing matter. But Amy had sustained a concussion some time ago, and she's still having issues with pain in her neck, and she needed to be seen last night by a medical professional. So Dad had taken her to Memorial in Owasso, and without doing any like real examinations, they gave her a pill and they made her swallow some, what was that, a steroid or something of that effect, and then they sent her home. Now, by what I understand, concussions are very serious matters. I've never had a concussion, but it's trauma to the head, which can't be a good thing. Amy's still having issues with that on occasion, I would think. I don't want to put words into Amy's mouth. She's been having on and off problems with the concussion, or from the injuries that she sustained from that, and I kinda got into a little row with someone on my Facebook today. I'm not gonna name names because the names aren't important, but this person is an employee of Memorial. Now, I had made a post, something to the effect of, "Keep it classy, Memorial. You didn't examine Amy at all. You just, what, rubbed her ankle and said, 'Oh, this is what's wrong,' and then gave her a pill." Well, Amy does have I would say multiple health issues at the moment. She's got, with the ankle, and she's got the concussion issue, and I believe she might have upper respiratory issues. Common cold is what they referred to it. But even with that being said, when it comes to a concussion, injuries resulting from a concussion, the after effects of a concussion, which you're still going to feel some kind of, discomfort from that. They didn't do a CT scan. Now, I was told that they don't do MRIs during ER visits, which they I guess if it's not medically necessary, they don't. But I know one time she went to the hospital for that, and they actually did an MRI during the ER visit. Now, CT scans, they're actually faster than an MRI because MRIs can take hours, and CT scans are fairly quick. But they didn't even do that. And someone, friends with me on Facebook, they are an employee of Memorial, and they were doing damage control on my post after I said, "Memorial, keep it classy. You wouldn't even examine her. You just gave her a pain pill and sent her on her way." They didn't bother to do a thorough examination on Amy. And a person who works for Memorial kind of spouted off. And instead of acknowledging Memorial's lack of care, she defended Memorial's lack of care. And maybe I shouldn't take it out so much on the hospital, but the staff who works at the hospital. Maybe that's a more appropriate way of looking at things. But it's bullshit to defend a hospital's lack of care. Now, why didn't they do a CT scan on Amy? They should have. And yeah, and her family doctor had sent Amy, told her, "Go to the emergency room and they will do these procedures. They will do these tests to determine what's actually going on." They didn't do any of that. And I guess my um I don't know, my grievances with Memorial is that someone who is an employee of that specific hospital is coming at me defending Memorial, like, engaging in damage control because I have nothing good to say about Memorial. And instead of this person apologizing on behalf of Memorial, this person says, "Well, if you don't like how we do things, go to a different facility." What kind of care is that? Instead of acknowledging the fuck up, you defend the fuck up. That's not what I would call compassionate care. Um, I kind of know how these things work. Someone who has been run through the medical ringer, as I talk about almost every week. I've had x-rays and CT scans and MRIs in my life, plenty of them. I know how they work. They could have done something for her last night. Now, she's probably over it now. I don't want to put words in Amy's mouth. She may or may not be over them not looking after her the way they should have. But I'm not over it because that's just ridiculous. And to have someone on my Facebook stand in defense of a hospital who wouldn't so much, I mean, they touched her, but they didn't run any kind of tests. Yeah, Amy asked the doctor on call, or the nurse, I guess it would be a nurse, wouldn't it? It was a doctor on call, okay. She asked the doctor on call to feel her neck. She wouldn't do it. And Amy, as she pointed out, there's a big neck or a big neck, a big knot on the back of her neck. There's a big bump. She asked the doctor, "Feel that back there. It hurts." She wouldn't do it. And instead, when I kind of rant about this on Facebook, I have someone who is an employee of Memorial saying, "Well, if you don't like our care, go somewhere else." Well, that's pretty fucking lazy and irresponsible, if you ask me. Um, Furthermore, Owasso is the closest hospital to us. It was snowing rather heavily last night. My dad is not going to want to drive 2 hours to get somewhere that should only take an hour. But because of the snow, it's going to be double the time, if not triple the time to get there. I can't say as I blame him. But to defend a hospital or to defend the lack of care that you should expect from a hospital, by the way, a hospital that the state of Michigan actually claims number one on their top list of hospitals in the state. If that's what they call compassionate care, I'm really fucking worried. Now, I don't want to make blanket statements about Memorial, but you can ask anybody, friends, family, doesn't matter. You can ask anybody about Memorial Hospital. Yeah, every hospital that you go to is going to have its flaws. I understand that. But when you go to a hospital, you expect something to be done. And like Amy pointed out, she probably would have got better care at McLaren Hospital. Although some people might have their opinions about McLaren. And I understand this is always a case by case thing. Some hospitals may be great with certain people, some hospitals may be rotten with certain people. But either way, they did not examine Amy last night. They should have. Because how do they know that there's not something more serious going on as a result of that concussion that she sustained? They don't know that because they didn't examine her. Usually, when you go to the hospital, the ER, they can order those on the fly if it's medically necessary. Like I said, an MRI can take hours. A CT scan is pretty quick. Results usually come back quickly. But they didn't even do that. They wouldn't consider looking at her and examining her. And I just think it's shitty. It's awful. What kind of hospital um what kind of hospital does that? And then to have someone tell me, "Well, if you're dissatisfied with the way we do things, go somewhere else." Well, that's obfuscating the issue. You're not you're not apologizing, let alone acknowledging the error of their ways, but you're also defending the error of their ways. And it's awful. I was born at Memorial, and I am shocked that they even got that right. Memorial is not the best hospital. Everybody knows this. Memorial's been sued more times than not. They are not the best hospital in the area. Anybody from Chesaning will tell you that. Anybody from even Owasso will tell you that. They are not the best hospital. The care and treatment, if you want to call it that, for Amy last night was just abominable. To send her on her way after you give her a pill. What the fuck is a pill gonna do? Amy wanted to be thoroughly examined to see what's actually going on in there. A CT scan would have taken mere minutes. They couldn't even do that. And her doctor suggested that she get these things done. That's why she told her to go there. Or he. Your doctor, a he or a she? A he. That's why he recommended that she go to the hospital to get those examinations done. They wouldn't do it. So now Amy has to follow up. Well, she would have had to have followed up with her doctor anyway, but she's going to follow up with her doctor tomorrow and tell him what the fuck went on at the hospital on Saturday night. the medical profession and the healthcare system in this country has gone to shit. And then this person tried to compare, and this is how awful they were at defending Memorial. They tried to compare Amy's concussion with a toothache. Well, with a toothache, you just go to urgent care. With this, you just go to urgent care. With a concussion, you don't go to fucking urgent care. You go to the emergency room. That's serious. Now, saying that a toothache isn't serious because it could be infected or there could be some kind of, like an abscess or something going on, but we're talking about a concussion. A concussion, you can die from a concussion. Oh, just go to urgent care. No, I don't want to go to fucking urgent care. I want to be seen in the emergency room by a fucking doctor. Ugh. Memorial. Ugh. But anyway, I'm going to hop off my soapbox, at least for a little while anyway, because there's other things to talk about. What do I want to talk about this week? There's not really. Oh, I got stranded in Chesaning periodically. I got stranded on Friday. I think it was Friday. Sometime last week. I fucking don't remember, but it was last week anyway. We were cashing on bottles at Frank's, and we got up to my financial institution, and then my car quit. I pulled in the parking space. I shut it, or I let it run so Dad could stay warm. I left the heater on. I went inside, took care of some business. I came out, and my brake light was on. And then when I shut it off, it wouldn't turn on again. So Dad popped the hood, and he checked the battery cables and all that stuff. I'm thinking it could be a battery cable. There may be a loose battery cable. The battery hasn't been changed since I've owned the vehicle. So if there's a dead cell on that battery, I'm going to have to buy a new battery. And those cost roughly about $100. Hopefully it's not that, but I've already put money into the car. I put a new water pump in the car, and might have to get a new battery. Might even have to get a new alternator if it comes down to that. But someone had come up. They had their jumper cables, and they gave me a jump so I could get back home. Today, Dad tried to start my car, and it wouldn't start. So I don't know. He went uptown to get a set of jumper cables because I thought we had some, and miraculously, they just come up missing. Like most everything else out of this house just comes up fucking missing miraculously. No, that doesn't annoy me. Nah, should it? Nah. Yeah, it actually does annoy me because when we need something, we can't find it because other people, not naming names, like to use things and either not return them where they found them or they steal them. So, yeah. So now we have to get a new set of jumper cables. And Dad should be pulling in anytime. I have cameras on my house, so I can actually see what's going on outside. Although I am doing my Sunday video. Dan Richards returns tonight for the Fox Sunday Flashback, 103.9 The Fox. The link to that is in the chat. So make sure you listen tonight at 7 o'clock. Dad's not back yet. Oh, he wiped off my windshield and put my wiper blades down. How very thoughtful of you, Pop. I appreciate you. Okay, truck went by, which I heard out here. I don't know where I'd be without these cameras. These are nice cameras. Yeah, Fox Sunday Flashback tonight at 7 o'clock with my buddy Dan Richards on 103.9 The Fox. Like I said, the link is in the chat. Make sure you go and listen and enjoy the show. And if you have any requests, call in and request a song. I'm sure he'll have it. It's let me see. Let me get this right. Classic country, classic rock, and southern rock, I think it is. Like within the trifecta of those genres. I realized how dirty I was today. Dirty. Look at my wrist. Hmm. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, so it's like a trifecta of different genres of music, and it's a really good show. I enjoy listening every week. So, yeah, I have seemingly run out of things to talk about, Amy. Um, next, let's see, it'd be next Friday is the Shrine Circus in Saginaw. We will be there on the 24th. Looking forward to that. They're talking about a glow circus, which I don't think I've ever been to a glow circus. Because but according to this, it's a they're gonna have a 8,000-pound glow in the dark elephant. Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna have the BMX bikes, they're gonna have exotic animal rides, shimmering face painting, breathtaking high wire thrills, which those are always cool, and mind blowing globe of death with the bike and the round cage. So I'm wondering if the globe of death will be a glow globe. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun though, and I can't wait to go. I look forward to going every year. It's my little getaway, and I enjoy going to the circus.
I may not act like I'm enthused or anything like that, but I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna have this cleaned off this week, but
I don't like the big crowd though.
yeah.
I'm so afraid of.
With me though,
That's one of my fears though. Is big crowds.
yeah, I don't like big crowds either. But you know what? What I think is cool is I can be sitting there watching the show, having a great time, and then you see the little ones, they like that. They have that look of shock on their face, or they start laughing because the clowns do something funny, or that's I enjoy that. It's like that's entertainment. I mean, beats sitting home. But the tickets were we won't go there. The tickets were $20 a piece. It's like, what the fuck? Whatever happened to the days when my dad used to take me to the circus? Holy shit. But inflation. Inflation for sure. Um, but yeah, we will be at the circus on next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday. They just had bull riding in Saginaw last night. Yeah, bull riding at the Dow Event Center. PCB, I think it was called. I talked to Leah Williams. She's a Nashville recording artist. I'm friends with her on Facebook. She's just a sweetheart. She was in Saginaw at the Dow last night. She was enjoying the bull riding PCB. I call it a road. I guess it would be a rodeo. Because there's bulls. I mean, you got the cowboys around the bulls, and the bulls, end up bucking the oh, that's a real bull. Those are real bulls, yeah. And then they get bucked. Um, yeah, those are real life bulls they use. Um, and they make it look like a rodeo. Like they got the dirt, they lay out the dirt, and then they got like the gates and everything where they let the bulls out. Um, it looked like it was a lot of fun. I haven't been to a rodeo in ages, ages. The last time I was at a rodeo was right up here in Chesaning. Yeah, they were out behind, um, oh, what's it called? HJV, I think, or out behind the gas station. And it was my cousin Matt's birthday. And yeah, we went then, but that's been years ago. They don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Uh, but hey, we're going to the circus next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Um, But I have run out of things to say. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. It's just been a long week. Um, with Amy going to the hospital and um, Dad had an appointment this past week, and yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff going on. Oh. I got my Super Nintendo hooked up in my bedroom, and I've been playing Super Mario Brothers, the Super Mario Brothers 3. I tried to play Super Mario 2. I can't beat that son of a bitch. I know the warp, you put the door on the little tunnels. You throw the potion on top, which turns into a door. You walk into the door, then you go down the tunnel, and then it's a warp. It's a warp zone. I get all the way to world 7-2, I think it is, and I can't get past 7-2. But once you get to the frog at the end, it's easy to win. It's easy to beat. I've already beat Super Mario 3. I beat Super Mario World, which that's easy. That's easy. Um, and then, when I play Super Mario 3, I was getting I can't help it. I know I shouldn't die on purpose on those games, but it is just so funny. Um, I don't know. It's like when you're in World 3 where, it's water, everything's underwater, and there's this plant that shoots out red, whatever they are. And when Mario, if you walk up to the plant close enough, and especially if you're big, it'll spit out those red, whatever they are. Mario will shrink and he'll just stand there looking right like I want to touch the plant. Yeah, but it'll kill you. It's funny. Um, my ear itches. Now, in the second world 2, um, you've got this castle. It's the first castle you go to, and it's got ghosts in the castle. And when you stand under the ghost just right, he'll come down straight down, but it's like he shivers, like he goes really fast like this, and he comes down. It's funny, like a shivering ghost. It's funny. Um, I find humor in just everything. Like in Back to Super Mario 3, getting eaten by that big fish. It's just fucking hilarious. Um, and that's what makes Super Mario so entertaining. It sucks when you die because when you're really trying to beat a level and you keep dying, like you don't get through all the way, it can get frustrating. But when you're not even trying, it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm having fun. It's funny. It is hilarious. Um, just the multiple ways that Mario gets his clock cleaned. It's just, it's just funny. uh, yeah. And yeah. Oh yeah, I'll have my bedroom door shut and I'll be in there playing the game and I'll just be laughing up a storm. Um,
Oh, you were pretty quiet the other night. I could barely hear it.
yeah,
I could still hear it.
I'm tired.
Well, it's like last night. I called Dad from the ER room,
Yeah,
and I swear I heard Crystal asking, "Where you at, Dad?"
yeah, fuck her.
And Dad says he wasn't even on the phone with anybody. He was on my tablet.
Yeah, I I got no use for them. None. They can stay right where they are. Leave us alone. Um, but yeah, it's Super Mario is just such a fun game to play. I just love it. And in Super Mario World, of course, you get Yoshi, and I beat Special World. Like you got Star Road, and then the star in the center, and then you got all those levels which are really hard. But I beat them all. I conquered them all, and then the landscape changes colors when you conquer Special World. So really takes me back to the 90s. Very nostalgic. And no one's in my chat. It's weird. No one's in my chat log. Just chewing off my toenail and the link to tonight's flashback. That's okay. That's okay. Most people get bored sitting here listening to me ramble on anyway. But as far as I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I take my medications daily, which I only take Celexa. That's the only medicine I take. I still grieve over mom. That's a given. I mean, I'm gonna grieve over mom. Mom's was fiance. He's found someone new. Um, but they've actually known each other for a very long time. So, hello, Melinda. You just missed my rant about Memorial, the worst fucking hospital on the face of the planet. My mom's ex fiance. Well, I guess now because she's gone, so it would be an ex. He's found someone, and I wished him the best. We talked on the phone the other night, and I told him, I said, you know, my mom would want you to move on and find somebody else. So I think that's what he did. And he says, yeah, you only live once. I said, well, you die once, but you live every day. He says, now that's a way to look at it. Well, I think so. But the person that he's in a relationship with, we kind of we had something going on. we yeah. Yeah, you know, yeah. um yeah. But I hope that doesn't spoil the relationship that they're trying to build upon. Um yeah, whatever, it is what it is, man. Can't undo what's been done. But oh well. But I, you know, genuinely, I wish them the best. I want for him to go on and find happiness where he can find it because everybody deserves to be happy. You know, I keep my options open. Like I've talked to a few people on Facebook, and I actually started talking to a girl. She lives in Saginaw, but I've seen her around Chesaning. I didn't know it, but she's got children, and she's getting her life together, getting her life back in order. And I didn't know she had kids, but we're talking, and I told her I want to take her out sometime, go out to dinner or catch a movie or whatever. I haven't been inside of a movie theater in who knows how long. And she said she was down with it, but I'd have to let her know because it has to work around her work schedule, which is fine. Even if we don't go on a date, I mean, it's fine. Um, but I let her know, hey, I've crushed on you for years, and she's like, well, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know how you would react to it. You know, I didn't want to scare you off. And she says, well, I wouldn't have ever known if he didn't say anything. Well, I thought maybe she would have gotten the hint, but I had to come out and tell her that, yeah, I kind of got a crush on you. I kind of like you. I dig you, you know. Um, the last relationship she was in, the boyfriend was abusive, DV, domestic violence. And it's like, oh, brother, another one of those situations. Um, Not to get into too much detail because I don't want to put any serious information out there, but it's like it's a slippery slope. Um, DV is no joke, but it's also a very slippery slope of a conversation and a subject because there are plenty of people who actually, like myself, who actually did not commit a crime of domestic violence and they ended up going to jail anyway because they had a warrant. And so now I have to, if I mean, I want to be honest with her, and I want to tell her that I actually did go to jail for a crime I never committed, and it was, the charge or whatever was domestic violence. But I actually didn't put my hands on the person who accused me of doing it. So now I've got an arrest. I have that arrest on my record for a crime that I never committed, which I think is bullshit. So now it's trying to break through that force field and trying to get women to understand that I don't put my hands on people. I just don't put my hands on anybody, especially women. I don't put my hands on children. I don't put my hands. I don't like to be in physical confrontation with people. I don't like it. Now, the only time I would ever be physical is if I'm physical. Like if I get intimate with a woman, not, trying to put it subtle, trying to be subtle about this. Um, if I'm intimate with a woman, which that's not going to be anyone's business anyway, but that's probably the only time that I would actually be hands on with a woman is if we're intimate with each other. I don't beat women up. I don't harm children. Um, it's just, it's a shame that when I do find somebody and I have this bullshit now that's on my record, and now it's trying to explain that this really didn't happen, but I was still charged with the crime. Um, and so now it's trying to get her to understand that I'm actually not that kind of a person. And the court systems are just fucked right to the gills. They're just fucked right up. But later on, I'm going to see about having that expunged from my record because I have no intentions of. I never had any intentions of putting my hands on anybody ever. And when I'm going to jail for a crime I didn't commit, that dampens things a little bit, but it doesn't stop me from living my life. And anybody who genuinely knows me knows better that I'm just not that kind of a person. So I'm gonna have to try to break through that force field with her and get her to understand that I would never hurt her. I would never do anything to hurt her or her children. Um, but the case wasn't about hurting a child. It was about domestic violence against a woman. Well, a little girl, I guess. She's a grown adult little girl. And I don't. It's a bunch of shit. I made my point, and it's fucked up. But I just take one day at a time. People watch this and think, "Oh, Jared abuses women." No, I don't. Never have. So there's that. There's that. But I'll give it a try, see how things work out, and hopefully, the thing is, I don't want to rush into a relationship. I've learned that I don't want to rush into anything. We just start out as being friends. We hang out, we do shit together. Later on, if the friendship becomes something more than a friendship, cool. I'm down with that. But if not, I'm down with that too. Um, I don't mind being by myself, being alone. Just I'm used to it. I'm used to being by myself, and I'm not looking for pity. It's not a pity party. I actually enjoy being by myself. I mean, you can ask Amy. Anytime, like say for example, Dad and Amy, they go to the races, or if they go, have fun somewhere else, they make a, just the two of them. You can ask Amy. I get excited. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna have the fucking house to myself, which I enjoy. I enjoy having the house to myself. And I'm sure they get excited about just the two of them being alone because I don't like to be around all the time if I can help it. I mean, I don't have a car. What's that? I don't like being a third wheel, but with having a vehicle that's currently not running, I don't have much of a choice. I can't go anywhere unless Dad goes because Dad's vehicle is the only vehicle currently running until I get my car fixed. So I'm kind of SOL on that. But Amy's right. I don't want to be a third wheel. I don't want to feel like I'm trying to get into the middle of their time as a couple. They should
I
be
used to feel the same way, Jared. You and Dad would be gone, and I'd even be afraid to call.
yeah. Um Dad and I hang out, but Dad and Amy as a couple, they also need their time just to reflect and to talk and to share things, personal, private things with each other. And they should have that time. I don't need to be in their presence all the time. But without a running vehicle, I don't really have much of a choice right now, and that kind of sucks because I need my alone time too, you know. And yeah, so I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, which I can't help that. I'm checking my Facebook here real quick. Okay. Being salty is so last year. Start being marinated. Let them know that you've been swimming in a mixture of emotions for a very long time. Yeah. Hello to the 3 people watching right now. How y'all doing? I'm just checking out my Facebook here real quick. Checking out notifications. I know I should be focused on you because I'm doing a show right now. But no. Last year was shit, and hopefully this year will be better than last year. So far, so good for me. Um, yeah, and we're only within the first couple of weeks of the new year. I haven't had really a lot of negative, but no, still early in the year. So
Get it every so often.
yeah, every so often there's some negative, especially around the holidays. I fuck the holidays. I'm glad those are done for another 11 months.
Till February.
Yeah. Well, Valentine's Day is coming up next month, and I don't have a sweetheart. I don't.
Well,
Ha-
you could always get something from me.
I don't have a sugar booger. Unless things work out with this girl and I that I've been talking to. So, but she's got 4 kids. Her 2 oldest are 15 and 16, and her 2 youngest are, God, what did she say? 6 months and 2 years. One's 6 months old and the other one's 2 years old. So they're just little, which it doesn't bother me. Um, Even having a 15, 16-year old doesn't bother me. Those are her kids. But at the same time, I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, if we hook up, I'm kind of taking on a responsibility of playing the fatherly role, which I am not really, you know, I don't know if I'm really ready for that kind of commitment, provided that these are someone else's kids. But I mean, if things really get serious with me and this girl that I'm talking to, um, then I guess I'll step in and do what I can to provide for someone else's children. I don't know. I don't know of any other way to put it because that's basically what it is in a nutshell. Um, I was at Frank's supermarket earlier today, and someone it was a mom and a young girl, and I overheard the mother telling her daughter, call her because her name was Presley. Like, Presley, get in this aisle. I was like, Presley, what kind of a name is Presley? And I wasn't trying to be judgmental, but it's like that. It's just different. Like, I'm so used to Matthew, Timothy, um, just regular, typical. names like Lydia, Claudia, Linda, Stephanie, Samantha, um, you know, just typical names. But Presley, that's different. Um, it's like, okay, her name's Presley. Okay, I was expecting like Samantha or something like that. Um, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's just a different name. We are down to the final 15 minutes of the show already. So I have to kind of randomly blab for the next 15 minutes until time runs out. I can't believe that this is the 1000th video. I should be more, ecstatic about that. I should be more woohoo on 1,000 videos here on All Things Jared, which I am. I mean, 1,000 videos. I've had this channel. This May 27th will be 10 years that I've had this channel. So, I haven't really been uploading a lot of videos to this channel as of the past, I don't know, a couple of years or maybe the past year or so. Um, but yeah, this is 1,000 videos. This is the 1,000th video on this YouTube channel here, which I am very proud of. And I will continue to keep coming back. I didn't think anything major was going to happen with this channel. I really didn't. I thought maybe I was going to upload a few videos. Nobody's going to give a fuck to watch, listen to what I have to say. And then for the longest time, I refrained from even saying fuck in any of my videos because I wanted for people to come and see me and listen to me. And some people really get turned off by the idea that someone says fuck or shit or prick or some profane word. A lot of people don't like profane language in the videos, but that's just me being me. I get to come here and I get to be myself. And you're going to appreciate me for who and what I am, or you won't. I can't make you stay and I can't make you leave either. But, everybody's free to come and go as they please, and that's just like Facebook. Everybody's free to come and go as they please. I don't really like to turn people away. But a lot of the time, most of the people who send me friend requests now are just trolls. And I know they're trolls because these are really good looking women. And the profile picture doesn't quite match the cover photo, or the pictures are pixelated. They got lines in them. So it's fake. Not to mention, you have accounts where last name is first. Now, I don't know a woman named George, maybe Georgette or Georgianne or Georgia even, but just George? No. Um, a woman named Martin, first name is Martin? I don't think so. Now, it could be if a woman is named Martin, she's named after the bird, the martin. But that's highly unlikely that that is what's going on. It is a man pretending to be a woman. And they prey on single men who are, I guess, they would consider to be desperately in search of love. And so they're going to prey on single men who are single, lonely, desperate. And the men are going to be gullible enough to fall for it. And when that happens, their accounts end up getting hacked. And it's the thing that I try to point out to all of my single guy friends on Facebook. Don't fall for that shit. They are not women. Those are men pretending to be women. I'm not saying like, they're not, they are actual men behind the profiles pretending to be women. So that way, when they become friends with you, they can hack into your shit. Don't fall for that. I tell them this all the time, and it's like it goes through one ear and out the other. Whatever. You'll live and learn. I don't accept friend requests from accounts where the women show cleavage or they're in their bra and their panties and all that shit. I don't accept unless I actually have spoken to this person and I see them and they're actually who they say they are. There are ways of finding out. It's not hard. It's not hard to determine who's real and who's not. Um, but I don't know any woman named William. uh, I don't know of any woman named hell, I don't know. Because there's a lot of names that you can name a girl and a boy. Um, but I don't accept friend requests from girls named, I don't know, Jeffrey. Yeah, no, sorry, not gonna happen. But anyway, we're finally down to the final 10 minutes of the show. And I appreciate all you being here. I know today I'm kind of moving slow and I'm running out of things to say, and I'm actually just tired. I don't sleep well at night, and I think about a lot of things which keep me awake at night, or I'll watch a video on my phone on YouTube here, then I'll just fall asleep. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing this week. I think Dad mentioned something about maybe, not saying we will, but maybe going out to the Pine Run in tomorrow night. I don't know. We may not. It depends. Um, but yeah, if we go, I'll look forward to it. But if not, that's cool. I'll find stuff to do here at home. But we're expecting more snow, I think. They said something about, I don't even know if it's snowing out right now. I think it stopped. No, it didn't stop. It's still snowing. It's coming down pretty good, actually. I just hope Dad's okay out there. He may have also stopped and had a cold one at the back 40. I don't know. I hope he's okay out there, because when we were leaving to go uptown earlier, we couldn't get traction, and we backed out of the driveway, and when we went to take off down the road, we were moving sideways, like on an angle, because we couldn't get traction. It's like, oh shit. It's like, oh shit. I got some Pringles. We went to Dollar General and Frank's. That'll annoy some people. Crunching potato chips into the mic. That will drive some people crazy.
Or sitting there listening to someone in a video chat. Crunch, 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 crunch.
Yeah, I crunched a potato chip right up to the mic.
Yeah, that's what my son would do.
Like the ASMR people who, I have a friend who actually does the ASMR videos, and she's a Wilm survivor. And her name is Jamelia. She's also a children's book author, published. And she's in the fire ravaged areas of California, which, how did I not talk about that? That's like one of the biggest stories of last week. It's just horrible what's happening out there in California. My heart goes out to those people. It's just awful. Awful. I couldn't imagine um being somewhere where you can't even stay home because of a fire that just burned out of control. I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook, oh, someone intentionally started it, or it was caused by the Santa Ana winds, which I'm more inclined to believe that. Um, but saying that someone started it on purpose, I don't know. I don't have enough information to determine as to whether or not that is in fact true. And then you have to make sure that the sources where you're getting your information from are accurate and reliable. And that's a problem that we run into on Facebook quite often. Now, Facebook wants to remove the fact checking shit on there, which I think, yeah, I mean, you should have the freedom to say as you please, like the free speech. Yes, you should get to exercise your First Amendment right by free speech. However, sometimes the free speech comes with consequences. There are some things you shouldn't say. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I think that is the foundation of free speech in the First Amendment. Just because you can, it doesn't mean you should. There are some things you can say, but it's probably not in your best interest to say it. Much like anybody else, it may not be in their best interest for you to say something and vice versa. I support constitutional rights amendments. At the same time, I recognize that constitutional amendments are not commandments, meaning that amendments can be revised, they can be changed, they can be edited, they can be edified. They can be, they are subject to revision. Oh, say it, don't spray it, Jerry Bear. They are subject to revision. But because the Constitution is viewed as a sacred document, no one dare change it. In all the 200 and plus years that we've been celebrating independence, no one dare mess with it because that is a sacred document. But some things, have to be changed. Some things have to be changed, which is a very extensive conversation for another day, which I probably won't talk about next week. But yeah, free speech, that should be something that we take pride in because other countries don't have that option. You say something and you just you can go to jail for you can go to jail for things you say here too, but you don't have the freedom to express yourself even if you're wrong. Even if you're inaccurate or wrong in what you say or what you claim, you can still say it. But some of the things you say carries the weight. Sloppy spit in my food. Some things you say carry consequences. It's a consequential thing to partake. Some things you say can result in punishment. So you have to be careful and selective in the things you say. I'm going to stop spitting my food everywhere because that's just kind of gross, man. It's just, I love Pringles so much. But anyway, guys, I'm going to boogie because it's going on 4 o'clock. I've been here just randomly, talking, chilling, and spitting food. And I'm sure chewing off my toenail will appreciate the mess I'm making. I'm making a pig of myself. Dad, I would usually turn over the floor to my dad to offer up his final words. Seems that Dad's not here. We'll just go to Amy. Any final words, Amy?
Peace out, be safe, be careful out there, everybody.
Peace out, be safe, and be careful out there, everybody. That's what she says. Those are her final words. My final words are we have finally reached the end of the 1000th video on this channel. Woohoo! And May 27th of this year will be the 10-year anniversary of this channel. And I thank all of you for being here. Through good and bad, most people genuinely and generally have stuck around, and I appreciate you being here and sticking with me through all the good and the bad that you've seen on this channel and all the things I've talked about, which you may not agree with, but that's fine. There's a lot of things that most people say that I don't agree with, but we're still friends. We're still here. So let's add on another 1,000 videos. That way we can talk about it again in the future when we reach 2,000 videos. So much love. Peace out. I will be back next week, which is the 19th. Y'all get out there and have yourselves a great week. And don't forget to listen to the Fox Sunday Flashback tonight with Dan Richards. And Dad, I'm just now wrapping up. Dad, is there anything you want to say before we go? Bye. And I will say the same. Bye. Oh, you need my keys? Here.
I had to go to, I went to Surplus, they were closed.
Surplus is closed?
They closed at 3, and I
Oh.
got back 7 minutes after, so I went to Dollar General, they didn't have them.
Did you go to Ace, or are they
They were
closed?
closed, so I went to a dollar store, they had them. $9.
Whew. Okay. I'm out. Bye. See ya.